14 WILI and 95.3 FM presents Hometown Threads, a closer look at our community and the people that make it go. Every week, you'll hear uplifting stories from our local businesses and our neighbors. Now, here's our host for Hometown Threads, Keith C. Rice.
Welcome into episode 136 of Hometown Threads on 14 WILI and 95.3 FM and Willimantic Today Facebook and Spectrum 192 and the WILI YouTube channel. We're all familiar with YouTube, and if you're not, well, go to youtube.com and you can watch everything on YouTube these days. But most importantly, you should probably subscribe to your hometown local radio station, which you not only watch Hometown Threads and the Duncan Friday Sports Scene and Homegrown, and you can watch a lot of our talk shows on the WILI YouTube channel just by searching WILI Radio on YouTube. Big thanks to Liberty Bank, been with us since day one in November of 2022. Liberty Bank, be community kind, with 3 great local locations. Of course, across the street from the station at 679 Main Street, Willimantic, 1703 West Main Street, and Route 195 in Mansfield. Liberty Bank, be community kind. J. Matt Rupar, if you'd be so kind, say hello to the fine folks.
Hello.
Episode 136 of Hometown Threads. A pleasure to bring in Rob Francis and Michael Kandolin.
Yep.
Did I say it right, Kandolin?
Yes, thank you.
Now, I know you guys somewhat. I bumped into Rob around the time I had Coach Crudden on because he was trying to track down that show. Both Wyndham natives here, right?
Yep.
It's the first time I met Michael. Sometimes I don't know everyone right away when they come on Hometown Threads. It's a pleasure to have you guys in here.
Thank you for having us.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
You're here to talk about the Wyndham Whippets Athletic Foundation, right? Did I say that right?
Perfect.
Yeah, yep.
We're going to get into all that because, of course, the Hall of Fame induction is going on at the end of this month. And
26th.
You
Yes,
guys
the
are
26th.
kind of involved with that as well, right?
I am more.
Yeah, Rob is more.
Okay.
Yeah, because of our 2 classmates and the 68 team being inducted. So
Yeah, so it's a list of how many off the top of my
I think there's about 10 individuals and the 1 team.
Okay, and we've had a couple of those individuals on Hometown Threads. We had just actually the last episode, Jamie Poulin.
Oh,
Jamie
yes,
Poulin,
yep.
who I grew up with, and a lot of people grew up with around here. A lot of people know Jamie. I've had Pat Risley
Yep.
on this show. Of course, Dan Switchenko was, Coach Switch was in here.
Yep.
So, and now we have, I probably had another, might have had another soon-to-be Hall of Famer into the Wyndham Athletic Hall of Fame.
Well, Brian Crudden.
Yeah, so of course, Brian Crudden.
Last
absolutely.
We just talked about him. He's
Yep.
a no-brainer.
First year.
Yeah, he was. Well, he's already in there, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
of course.
oh, yeah.
He went in there the first year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like an absolute no-brainer.
Yeah.
All right, so Rob, Michael, I got to call you Michael, right?
Yeah, yes.
Just found that out. All right, so tell us about yourself, Rob. I want you to go closer to the mic.
Yep.
You're going to be on Wayne's show, by the way, the next week or two.
The 16th.
Okay, you look for these guys, both you guys again, or just Rob?
Hopefully, if he can make
Hopefully,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
He's working. So,
All right, so Rob will definitely be on Wayne's show on the 16th. So talk a little about the foundation. But Rob, tell us a little about yourself.
Hey, well, I'm born, raised in Willimantic. Grew up here, youngest of 5 kids in a house was only 1,100 square feet. With 1 bathroom. I don't know how we did it, but we didn't even think about it. But I can't imagine trying to do it these days. Over on Pennywood Lane, just north of Eastern Campus, Grew up playing sports. My dad was the local manager of the Social Security Administration, whose office for many years was right behind WILI in the Larnigan building downtown. So my dad was always, I was on the show often, but also, of course,
What was your dad's first name?
Charlie Francis.
Okay.
Yeah, and he was involved with Dick Nassif, Senior, and I don't remember the other names, but they were involved with starting the midget football program.
Sure.
Back in the day. And my mother worked as the assistant to the principal at Sweeney School and then Kramer Elementary for many years.
So you said you're a Wyndham High grad?
Wyndham High grad.
The class of?
1969.
1969. Gotcha. Okay. Michael Kandolin, tell us about yourself.
So you mentioned earlier, are you a Willimantic native? And I would say a transplant.
You're not? Get out.
So no, yeah, right. So I'm originally from Columbia,
Oh,
but
right.
my entire family grew up in Willimantic. So my grandfather still is in Willimantic. My aunt lives in Willimantic. My parents grew up in Willimantic and moved to Columbia basically when I was born. And so I was from Columbia, but then went to Wyndham High School. So I was one of the last classes from Columbia to come to Wyndham High School.
Okay, now you're class of what?
Class of 2015.
Oh, wow, not too long ago.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yep. So everybody you mentioned, Coach Risley, Coach Crudden. I've been with Jack. I've been with Nick Poulin.
Yes.
So all of the sons
the younger
of the
generation.
Yes. Yeah. I competed with them. Yep.
Okay. And tell us about, did you play sports there?
Yes, yeah. So
tell us about your sports
Yep.
experiences.
So I played 4 years of football. I did track mostly. I had a little stint with Coach Risley in wrestling, enough to be on one of the state championship teams, but I actually was not a varsity starter or anything like that. So it was nice to be a part of, but track was more my thing, and then went on to University of New Haven from there.
And how'd you do at New Haven?
Good. I was I competed in track also there, throwing. So a lot of time spent with Coach Crudden and Coach Pros out on the throwing fields. I threw the hammer down there and discus and all that, so that went really well too.
I found out, speaking of track and field, is that in all the years I've known Jamie, I had no idea. Oh, I moved away for a bunch of years, but or maybe I just forgot that he was big in track and field.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew football, wrestling. We grew up playing Little League baseball together here in town. But I for some reason, I drew a blank, and he says, "Oh yeah." And then he went. I think he went down to Florida, or where he competed. Anyway, he was very good at track and field. So that's a pretty big sport at Wyndham, huh?
Yeah, it's also a nice auxiliary sport that slowly becomes more the mainstream if you're not going to go play those other sports like football or wrestling in college.
And I think it gets overlooked at Wyndham because everyone
yeah.
talks about Wyndham football, Wyndham wrestling. Well, props to Mike Haggerty, who was a buddy of mine, coach of the baseball team.
Yep.
But people forget about track and field. Maybe not just at Wyndham, but at other schools too.
Yes, yeah. It definitely is one of those sports that kind of gets overlooked because sometimes it's viewed as training for the other sports, but it definitely has its place.
And I've always wondered, but I think a lot because it's not really a spectator sport.
Sure.
Since
Very good.
You
Yep,
do it up here in the
definitely.
north,
Yep.
it's early.
Soccer's another
spring.
one that's big around here. Not just the Wyndham, but E.O. Smith has always had a kind of a rich soccer tradition. But we're not here to talk about it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
We love you, E.O. Smith. Don't worry. We love you, E.O. Smith. Don't worry about it. So, Michael, what are you doing these days?
So right now I work for a company called Quiet Corner Restoration, and we specialize in historical restoration, preservation of buildings, basically built before 1900.
And where's that?
It's all over the state of Connecticut.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we've done jobs. Really all over. We're also working with another general contractor named Valley Restoration, who does a lot of preservation on bigger stuff. We're going to be working on the Nathan Hale Homestead with them soon. We are also going to be working on a lot of. Just all over the place.
That's all right.
A lot of Brooklyn, a lot of Quiet Corner Restoration. So a lot of Woodstock, Brooklyn, Danielson area. We also go down to the shoreline. We've had jobs in Greenwich. Kind of wherever it takes us.
What did you study at University of New Haven?
Finance and behavioral economics.
Gotcha.
So I kind of fell into the construction side of it, and then just fell in love
How'd you
with
get
it.
into it?
I worked with one of my buddies is a mason by trade, so he was a roommate with my cousin, and he needed help one summer, basically when I got out of school. And I knew I wanted to work in small business. I did a couple of years over at Oliver's Dairy Bar and Grill over on with Cindy, and one of the summers was coming to an end, and he asked me, do I want to come help him during the fall? And I said, sure. And he also worked with the owner of Quiet Corner Restoration. And slowly, just over time, I just stuck around, and here I am now. So
Very good.
wasn't always the plan, but it worked out better than I could have
Very well
imagined.
spoken. You could do radio if you want to. What are you doing these days, Mr. Francis?
I am retired. I'm very good at it.
Well, I was retired. What else? Besides getting and staying active and talking about this foundation,
Absolutely.
What are some of the hobbies? When did you retire? By the way, it was
2018.
no, well, not too long ago.
And then I went back to work for 1 year after leaving I was a facilities director at a school system.
Oh, that's what you did, right?
During Middlefield for the last 21 years.
Wait, so that's what you did for how long again?
21 years.
21 years. You were a facility director at.
Regional School District 13, Durham, Middlefield, Connecticut.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That kept me busy. That's a 24/7 job.
What'd you do before that?
Before that, I worked 19 years at the Jewish Home for the Elderly in Fairfield, Connecticut. It was a 360-bed long-term care facility. I did lots of things, but for the most of my career there, I was director of purchasing, laundry service, and special capital projects.
So you you spent a lot of your years working outside of this area, but you're from this area. And where are you living these days?
I lived in Durham for 40 years, and 6 years ago we moved to Plymouth, Mass.
Wow.
To be
Okay.
near family.
So you're still very much obviously in touch with the people around here.
I mean, a lot of it's because of that 68 team. I'm still buddies with the guys that are living local. And
Talk a little about that 68 team. I mean, let's hear, come on, you must have some stories.
Oh, yeah.
Ones that are good for the radio or video?
Absolutely. Yeah, that was a group of guys. A lot of us grew up together. I mean, right in our neighborhood, within Pennywood Lane and Ridgewood Road, there were 5 or 6 or 7 players on that team, seniors and a couple of juniors. We grew up playing football on the street, and a lot of us midget football together. And that year, 68 just came together. We were 3-6 the year before.
Okay.
And the seniors were strong, but we had a great junior class that filled in. And for the most part, we had most of the games in hand by half or into the third quarter. And Coach Ed would never even thinking about running up a score. So he started substituting early. And
who was the coach again?
Coach Ed Ferrigno.
Oh, Ferrigno, right.
Right,
Yes.
who was his son, classmate of mine, Ed Ferrigno, and Marty Hammond were the co-captains.
Okay.
And I'm sure you've heard of Marty Hammond, the Hammond family.
Sure.
Okay. And so Marty's getting inducted as an individual this year, along with Dan Swachenko. So
anyway, so that year was just everything was falling into place?
I think we knew we were going in pretty good. We did a lot of skill players. You had a good quarterback.
Who was the quarterback?
That was Johnny Green, junior class. And had a backup, Johnny Kowalski, who was a senior. And we scrimmaged New London under the lights down here at Rec Park. New London was already rated in the States.
And this is before the season started?
Before the season started. And depending who you talk to, I talked to Jimmy Ferrigno, Eddie's younger brother, who was our statistician.
Okay.
And he told a story at last year's Hall of Fame gathering about how he ran into someone there saying, "Oh, we handle Wyndham no problem." He said, "Well, I got to argue with you because I was a statistician. Here's exactly what happened." So we definitely played them even or better than even.
And you said New London was supposed to be really good that year.
Yeah, they were in the top 6. Yeah.
So that was a good measuring stick, and then
and we felt confident. We went an out of league game down at Fitch, was a bigger school for us, and I don't remember all the scores, but most of the scores were somewhere in the upper 20s or low 30s to not much against the first defense.
Now, what was your role on the team? You were
I was a blocking back and an outside linebacker.
A starter, obviously, right?
Well, not obviously, but yes.
Well, you kind of got the body of the starter. And he's got his Wyndham colors on, so for those of you who are listening but will watch the show later on the WILI Radio YouTube channel, Rob has got his Wyndham maroon on.
Absolutely.
And so the 68 team is you're still pretty much connected to them, and that's what leads us into what we're here to talk about today, and that's the Wyndham High Athletic Foundation. I don't know who wants to jump in on this and start it off?
I'll start. And trying to think. I got a call somewhere back, maybe late spring, but I think prior to that, the call asking me about being involved, I was talking to Pat Prue, and he said, well, I met with a couple guys from the high school. They were in again, and that's all guys you know, Pat Risley, Zach Kanopka, and Coach
Pros.
Coach Randall Pros. Again,
Board, right?
Looking for money to try to support. They had a couple kids they wanted to take to a camp and didn't have the money, and Pat said, you know what? It looks like the demographics has changed in Wyndham. There's more of a need to support these programs. I heard another story when he first talked to me that they didn't know why a kid didn't play one year. Well, it's because he couldn't afford the spikes.
Wow.
They issued us spikes, and they were, nothing you'd ever want to take or keep at home. They were heavy, heavy leather. But the equipment now is great, and too embarrassed to say anything, or family couldn't afford it, so didn't play. And when I heard that, I said, yeah, I want to be involved, because our feeling very strongly is that if a kid wants to play, he should be able to play. There shouldn't be anything financial holding him back. So our goal is to support the athletes, the coaches, sure everybody gets some training, extra training, or if they need it, or have the opportunity to do so, and whether it's equipment to support them, whether it's rackets for the tennis team. I heard a story, something in relation to some of the golfers have to pick out mixed matched clubs. And I said, okay, well, that sounds difficult. One's Sammy Snead and someone's by whoever, different weights. So we hope to be able to supplement that. But the biggest thing is every kid that wants to play plays. They have the equipment they need, the safety equipment they need to be successful.
So they when they get the ball rolling on this whole foundation, they came to both of you guys. They approached both of you guys to talk about.
Rob was definitely approached first, and then
Rob was approached first.
And then
now, am I saying this right? The Wyndham High Athletic Foundation.
It's a Wyndham Whippet Athletics Foundation.
Wyndham.
Yep.
Wyndham Whippets Athletic Foundation.
WWAF.
Yep.
Oh, got
Yep.
it. Okay.
So we'll refer to it kind of like that often as just
Gotcha.
WAF.
So Rob was approached to help.
Yeah,
Michael,
Rob definitely got the ball rolling intentional or at first, and then Coach Pros just called me up one day and asked me if I wanted to be involved, and I just said absolutely.
Did some of the younger generation.
Yeah,
right?
yep. So he wanted to bring me in, and I just showed up to every meeting, and here we are.
So you guys, am I getting the vibe that you guys are both spearheading it because you're down here talking about it? Are you the spokespeople or?
So there's others on the board with us.
Right.
There's Rob, there's Rick Nassif,
Yep.
Martha Gifford, Paul Kozelka, and that's it, and me and you.
You and I.
Yeah, yep.
Now, we have incorporators, though, and that's what...
Yes, yeah.
We all came in as incorporators, so it started with... I mean, I give Zach, Pat, and Randall Pros, got to give them credit. Pat said, hey, this is what you need to do. You got to get some people involved, and started calling people in. Peter Haddad's on one of the incorporators.
Cold calling people, huh?
What's that?
Then cold calling people and.
No, well, that we might end up doing that, but this is just to get together, talk about what do we want this, develop a mission statement, which I think I had sent you. I may have a copy.
Yep.
A mission statement, which is basically what I explained earlier. Bylaws, and Pat Prue's been helpful with that. We had to get our tax exempt status. Pat Prue got us through that, and he was worried with government. Not shutdowns, but government cuts.
Sure.
He did not expect to get it, respond to it. We did get it, so we are a 501c3
Good.
charitable organization. So I know people in my generation who are now starting to take money out of their retirement funds and have to take some out each year can make a donation directly to the foundation, tax exempt. So they didn't pay for it. They came out of their pay, tax exempt and tax free. When you take it out, you normally have to pay, which you do if you just put it into your account. But if you donate any or all of it to a nonprofit organization, you do not have to pay taxes on it. So it's a nice incentive.
Rob Francis, Michael Kandolin with us. Did I say it right, Kandolin?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hometown Threads, episode 136, brought to you by Liberty Bank, B Community Kind on WILI, Willimantic Today Facebook, Spectrum 192, and the WILI YouTube channel. We're talking about the Wyndham Whippet Athletic Foundation. Now, have people been helping already? I know you guys are getting the word out here. How's it been so far?
Good. Well, we started, we were meeting, we were trying to get more names, and we got into the late fall, and, the coaches are getting busy, Varissa's busy, the athletic director is getting real busy, so I said, you know what, let's get a board elected, because the board is the one that has to do the work and is responsible. So we got us to volunteer, so the five of us, and twist a couple arms, got some people to serve as officers. Michael's our one director, but he's going to be in training, I'm sure. It won't be long. and a lot of us are a little bit older, but I look for people and talk to guys that said, hey, will you commit to this for a year or two? We need to get this off the ground. We want it set up. We want it professional. We want to cross all the T's, dot all the I's, so then it can be passed on. But the basis will be there to continue to raise money moving forward.
Yep.
So, is it okay to ask you how much money's been raised so far? I mean, are you allowed to? You don't have to give it. I guess. Throw something out there. Or?
We really have. We are kicking off.
This is officially.
This is part of the kickoff,
yes.
And at the Hall of Fame weekend, we will have a table.
So we're getting the ball rolling here for down the road.
Yes.
Gotcha.
We've been doing the work. Michael's been working on, and I was very excited to hear that Michael volunteered to be.
This is great. Hey, this has happened before. Lance Ladd had a live. You want to pick it up?
Nope. Peter had. So.
That's somebody from the board?
No, it's Peter Haddad.
I think you left it on. Oh, okay, all right. I thought he was still on the line.
That was hilarious.
So
Peter has the rest of the show.
He was supposed to be at lunch today, but he didn't make it.
You guys are getting the ball rolling,
Yep.
and then where does it go from here?
Yeah, so they definitely, they asked me to help out with marketing communications, which is where I've been trying to help with Rob and everything like that. So we've been setting up a website. That's getting set up, kind of in the process of that getting lifted off the ground right now. We've been able to work on a place where we can start to collect payments through.
That was my next question.
Yes.
So I assume there's going to be a website.
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
A social media page.
Yep, absolutely.
Can you talk about that now, or it's still in the works?
Yeah, so it's still in the works, but right now we have a pretty informal way to do it right now with a very rough draft way. We have a payment acceptance platform, I guess you could say, to get us through to be able to get to the Hall of Fame. Our goal is to have some more marketing material ready and our website to be at least a coming soon page up before the Hall of Fame dinner on the 26th. But if anybody wants to start right now, they can email us. We have a preliminary Gmail of www.athleticsfoundation@gmail.com.
Let's say that a couple times.
One more time. www.athleticsfoundation.com. Or sorry, www.athleticsfoundation@gmail.com.
www.athletics
Foundation at gmail.com.
Okay,
that's our preliminary one, and then that's going to be our domain name going forward, and we'll make
sure we put those on our station social media pages too, and we'll help you get the word
out. And right
out.
now, you could also, if you want to write out a check and mail it in, it can be made out to, and you can just make it out to WWAF at 720 Main Street, 4th floor, Willimantic.
Okay.
Yep.
And let's see, so the website's still in the works?
Yep, we're still in the middle of setting that up, but this was definitely to just start getting the ball rolling and get everything kind of...
We'll be coming on Wayne's show April 16th, so we'll go through this. Wayne, I'm sure, will go maybe a little more extensive since this show, this segment is, Wayne will have a larger, a more extensive segment, so we'll get into a little bit more.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Talk about who else is on the board exactly? I know you said Pat Risley. Zach's the athletic director, right?
So the initial for Pat to file any papers, we're incorporated in the state of Connecticut, and to file for the tax exempt status, federal tax exempt status. Those four gentlemen, Pat, Zach, Randall, and maybe just the three of them, were officers. In late December, or early January, we had an election, and that's when we were elected a board. So myself as president. Paul Kozelka.
Yep, we know Paul.
Vice President. Martha Gifford as secretary, and Rick Nassif as treasurer, and then one director, Michael.
That's me.
That's great. This has been a lot of fun. We just have a couple minutes left. What is there anything else you guys want to pass along? Before we get into that, how much money what's your goal? Do you have a goal set, or as much as you can? I mean,
our goal the first year is $50,000. I did a couple budgets up. In our last meeting, we approved a budget based on a $50,000 income. So that's, I think it's attainable. We have $6,000 in the bank right now, just from a couple donations. I think the key to this fundraising is going to be reaching out to alumni. We have successful alumni.
Absolutely.
I have two older brothers that graduated in 59 and 60. They'll be at the Hall of Fame ceremony, and there's a lot of people that I think when approached and they see what we're doing and what it's for, and it's going to go directly. And this is not going to be associated with the school at all. We are an independent, not-for-profit organization that will make the decisions. We're not going to be handing money that could be used elsewhere in the budget. It's going to be specific, and we hope to meet or be able to support every single team at the high school in some way. Maybe not every year, but we hope to make sure that, and again, any kid that wants to play doesn't have any reason not to play because he can't afford something, it's not the right equipment, or it's not safe.
I love to hear this kind of thing because growing up around these parts too, such a rich history when it comes to Wyndham Whippets athletics, and to see you guys stepping up and helping out is just is tremendous. Michael, any final things to add?
No, I think Rob nailed it. We talked about, you said alumni is going to be a big portion of it, and I think that every alumni has that special place in their heart for Wyndham, and it's uncommon amongst places, right? Wyndham has a very strong history of community and a very strong history of stepping up to support one another. So this is just an extension of that to make sure that the next generation of people in Wyndham are really taken care of for going forward.
And the 20, 25 minutes I spent with you could just see the passion in both your voices and the way you are going about this. So best of luck, and I know Wayne will help you out on April 16th. We'll continue to get the word out. One more time with the email?
Yeah, so if anybody wants to send us an email at www.athleticsfoundation@gmail.com, that's the preliminary one, so www.athleticsfoundation@gmail.com. You can just send an email and we'll get right back to it.
Great job, guys. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Rob Francis, Michael Kandolin, Wyndham High grads and talking about the Wyndham Whippet Athletic Foundation. So please, keep that in mind. It's a very important thing. Help out if you can. That'll do it for Hometown Threads, episode 136. Keith C. Rice. Again, thanks to Rob and Michael and J. Matt Rupar, Liberty Bank, Be Community Kind. And in the words of the great Roddy McCumber,
bye for now, folks. Bye for now.
And that concludes another edition of Hometown Threads. Got a story for Keith? Reach out to him on Facebook by searching Keith C. Rice or email him at krice@hallradio.net. Don't forget to tune in next week on 14 WILI and 95.3 FM, as well as the Willimantic Today page on Facebook.